Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. And, boys and girls, I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. I can't drive the road alone. I can't be on the ocean, on the seas alone. I would go a little crazy. So what we have in here to substitute that feeling of loneliness is the best producer in the whole entire world. I've kidnapped him here. I kidnap him at least once a week. And you guys know him as Ozark Mark. Mark, how you feeling down there? I'm sorry you're kidnapped and all, but now that you're here, how are you feeling?
Yeah. What up? Know what I'm saying?
That's too many know what I'm saying.
Know what I'm saying? Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I thought about smiling at you from across it. Don't, dude. You'd be fucking perfect for that movie.
I know.
Holy
put me
shit.
in Smile, dude. Why haven't they put me in Smile?
You'd fucking kill it. Dude, stop. That's fucking freaky.
Dude, I would laugh so hard.
If you're a goddamn audio listener, go to YouTube and look at his face during this. It's in the first minute and a half. You'll see his face. Like, if you see that face, that's fucking creepy. Jeez, you better be in Smile 3 if there is one. But anyway, since you've uncovered what the hell we're talking about Smile 2. Smile 2.
Smile 2.
Smile 2.
The subtle pause between it makes. I was watching Smile 2. Okay.
But I wasn't watching Smile. No, Smile 2.
2.
I don't want to smile. 2. All right, yeah.
Did you ever see that? I forget. It's that comedian that's oh fuck, I'm mad that I don't remember his name. I think his name is Pete, but the guy that said doesn't make any fucking sense. That guy?
Pete, I forget his name too. I forget his last name. His first name's Pete.
But he was on a podcast with somebody and he said, here's a game I play. I don't remember if he said with his wife or whoever, and he said, you do like a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and you try to do the smallest smile possible, and it's the funniest shit though ever. And you don't think about it forever, but it's like, all right, like 3, 2, 1. You do the smallest smile you could possibly do, and it usually erupts in laughter. And I'm telling you, it's the stupidest thing. Try to do a small smile you can do.
It does.
I don't know why.
That makes no sense.
But this movie goes full torque with the smiles, full Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, full whatever. Yeah, right there.
We got a lot to unpack with this episode, boys and girls. We really do. It's a really grisly episode, grisly gnarly.
It's a real mind fuck, man.
We don't put no lotion on our hands in the winter because
no, you got to get a grip. Fuck that.
I like it when it's nice and leathery like.
Yeah.
When I feel a man's hands on me, it's got a nice grip to him. I know I'm safe. Now.
I'm safe. All right, quit fucking around. Continue.
Right. No, seriously. Before we continue, boys and girls, if you are watching on YouTube, we are telling you to subscribe. All right, regardless if you are, open up your YouTube and subscribe because it's completely for free. We are not a channel watered down with a bunch of advertisements. We are not propped up. We don't pay to play. What we do is we have honest listeners, honest subscribers, honest viewers like you. So if you are watching, do us this free favor. Also, those audio listeners on Patreon, on Apple Podcasts, do us that favor and not only follow, subscribe, but give us a 5-star rating because it helps us out more than you know.
And leave a fucking comment.
Yeah, that helps too. You can put whatever kind of comment you want. Now, what I will also urge you to do is take the next step. Go to patreon.com/sloppyhorror. And what is going on there now is all of our episodes will be posted there early. So if, Monday doesn't get there quick enough for you, that's fine. You can support the show for cheaper than a cup of coffee at patreon.com/sloppyhorror. Or you might want to support some merchandise. Show everybody out there how sloppy you really are. You can find links for our merchandise underneath all of our videos. There are links. So go out there, go the extra mile, help out the show, and tell a friend. So now that we got the preliminaries out the way, let's talk about Smile 2. Why are these so... well, I'm just going to put it out there. These movies, when the first trailer came out, I did not think this was going to be my kind of movie. It looked a little teeny bopper. Bubblegum, if you will, and that's okay. You need those movies too. You need those. It looked that way.
Well, it just looked new, generational. There's a whole new generation of movies coming out, and it's got to be with the times.
I agree. That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was too. But I'll tell you what, I remember when the first one came out, and I still have never seen the first one. Mm-hmm. But I remember when they were doing that advertising. When they had people in public just smiling creepy. They did it at ball games and all kinds of shit. So that, I can respect that. I like that.
I did too. I liked that too. 100% it was cool because there was like at baseball games, there was just a lady doing that and they zoomed in on her.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
But these movies are surprisingly good. It's back to as I was talking about last week, we need B pictures, just random horror movies. Remember the first Smile that came out in 1983? No, because there was none. It's a horror movie. Is it super complex? No. It follows many tropes that others have. You get a little It Follows in there.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what the first reminder that came to my mind was It Follows type shit.
Does that make you mad?
No.
No, it's horror movies. I like tropes in horror movies. It's simple and it's fun. It's super digestible. I watched the first one months after it came out just because I really didn't think that it would be my cup of tea. It just looked a little bubblegum, and that's okay. Everybody's got their cup of tea. Watched it. Way more brutal, the first one, than I thought it would be. Way cooler of a story. Love the score. This movie ups Smile 2 has such a cool score, dude. Very much reminds me of The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. Odd noises. Odd, weird noises.
Odd noises.
Yeah. Definitely got the vibe of a Stanley Kubrick movie via the score, like The Shining.
It reminded me a lot of like 70s style horror movies. And to me, those are the scariest movies.
I agree.
Just because their scores are so unsettling. Just weird ass fucking noises.
Doesn't make any sense, but they work.
Fucking scraping on instruments that whatever the fuck they're doing. It's eerie, but it's good because it sets the tone and makes you uncomfortable.
Good word.
That's the whole point of it. Yeah, it did a good job. It's if you didn't have a score like it does in this film, I don't think it would have hit as hard on the creepy level.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. Well, I don't know if you could shoot demons, but I would. I would just try to shoot these dudes.
I don't think you can.
But I don't know. It's kind of like the clown thing. Like, if I look at somebody and I might just back at them. I don't, can you, fight fire with fire? Because I'm not going to be terrified, generally. Like, now, if you had somebody that's all like, you're like, oh, my God, dude, that guy's scary. But if what's that funny giggly bits?
Oh, no,
what are you over there so smiley
I don't
about?
know. When you do it, it makes me quite uncomfortable, so please stop doing that.
It's just fun to do, though. Hit people with that. That's what you need to do at red lights now.
Just look at somebody and then oh, God.
But I'm going to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm just, it might turn a step where I'm not laughing anymore. But initially, I'm going to, what are you laughing at, bro? Why are you smiling? Why are you he looks happy. Who are you texting? I start asking stupid questions. What are you so happy about, man? Did you just hit a parlay? What's going on? All right, it's getting weird now, dude. Quit with the smiling.
Yeah.
But there is some brutality in here, a great score, some funny scenes. Did you notice a famous actor's son in this movie, Mark?
Mr. Nicholson.
Yeah, he looks pretty dead on, huh?
He does. And smiles. Eerily is creepy.
When they put the score in with him, I'm like, all right, this is clearly he loved The Shining, and he was like, oh, fuck, I got a chance.
He's like, fuck, I got Jack Nicholson's son. Why not?
He looks so much like him, and he's got the creepiness down, and he was hilarious. So what I want to do here, Mark, because this is a kind of newer style movie where I don't want to ruin the ending, so let's not necessarily reveal how it ends, but we can talk about we can talk if you want to say like the final scene or like the whatever, you could do that. Just be careful necessarily how we throw that down, because I don't want to say it's a twist, but I wouldn't say it's an ending that everybody is assuming, like, you know.
Well, I kind of.
We could talk about the whole movie except for the final reveal.
Well, the beginning, it starts out, I guess, from the previous one. So
Yeah.
I was kind of lost there because I never saw the first one. So I did look up what the fuck happened in the first one. And the ending is kind of what you expect if you've seen the first one.
Sure.
Just on a bigger scale, as you could say. We'll say that. But we don't have to talk about the ending. We don't have to do that if you don't want to spoil it for people. But if you've seen the first one, you know how it ends. You just don't know where it ends. Mm-hmm. But you could kind of figure it out halfway through the movie how it's going to end if you've seen the first one.
I'll put it this way. I enjoyed the way it ended because for a simple style, straightforward horror movie, most of which you can, like, in your mind, you're like, I know how this is going to end. Mm-hmm. I want to see all the steps leading to. Mm-hmm. Which there's a variety of psychological and Freudian reasons why people enjoy that roller coaster ride of like feeling nervous and then it like settling out. But I'm telling you, some of my favorite horror movies where they're at the end like, ha ha, and you're like, oh. Yeah. And then you turn it off and you're like, that was awesome. Like, I love that feeling of just like, we do what the fuck we want around here. Even if it is a good ending, even if it's a bad ending, regardless of what it is, I love those unexpected turns in TV shows and movies. It doesn't have to be M. Night Shyamalan levels. I just love when you're watching a film and there's a pacing and you have an idea of like, kind of have a feeling how this is all going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Well, the ending makes you think too.
It does, and it's really cool. So I can say I appreciated it. Yeah. So
it makes you think like, what if they were to make a third one, like, how the fuck are they going to make that work? Depending on how it ended and the whole rules of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so let's give you just like kind of a quick throwdown of how this is. What I forget this girl's name. The main character's her
Sky Riley.
Sky Riley, which is a porn star name, like if we're being honest.
Yeah, it is.
So
I feel like I've watched one of her videos before.
For sure. Sky Riley is like a singer, a famous singer who has battled addiction. She was in her boyfriend was an actor who was Jack Nicholson's son, and they were pretty fucked up one night, got in a wreck because they were fighting. Boyfriend died. Since then, though, things have not been great for her. There's this demon slash, you can call it whatever the fuck you want. It's like an entity where almost like It Follows, think like that. But this thing haunts you and makes everyone around you seem like they're smiling. And eventually, you got like a week damn near to live before these things take over you, take over your mind, make you do shit you don't even know you're doing, and you just eventually die. But the thing is, you eventually like will kill yourself in front of someone else, and then that spreads the thing to the other person, where now they are confronted with this. So it has to like spread from person to person. And now Sky Riley has this, and she's trying her best to not die. She does find a guy who is brothers with somebody that was victim to this disease a few people before her. And he's like, look, we can try to stop it by stopping your heart and killing you for a few minutes, and then maybe that will stop it. So she has like that kind of option. But she's definitely in a downward spiral and going crazy because these things are taking over her mind, and everyone around her is pressuring her because she's like on a music tour, and everybody just thinks she's using again. So it's kind of an interesting story, but the smiling people, the brutality, there's a lot of fun going on here. It's not too complex, but I definitely don't want to ruin too much of it, but I will go in detail with kills and stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of do that. So there's going to be some light spoiling for sure, but I'm just not going to give you the whole crux of how it all roundabouts.
Don't give me the crust. Just give me, a piece.
Give me the jelly and the peanut butter.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some fun parts. Let's talk about some hilarious parts, because Mark, I laughed a lot in this movie. I was definitely on the edge of my seat. Like, I'm not saying I was scared, but it's just one of those movies that's current enough where you're like, oh, okay, This got me in here. What the hell is going on? Got the heart rate up a little. But I laughed a decent amount, too. So it's kind of like the whole package here. And this isn't a low-budget movie. This is a pretty big budget movie. So what were some of your favorite parts?
Well, probably my favorite part in the movie, number one, is Sky got swindled into doing an appearance at like a benefit for children or something, right? So she has to go up there and read from a teleprompter real quick. And of course the demon's around and making her fuck it all up. Like the prompter stops, she splurs out the name of her dead boyfriend in front of everybody, and she just goes on the spiel about how she's a drug addicted, whatever. She's bombing, basically. So then the demon comes at her, makes her freak out. Then you got a jump scare. But then there's this old lady that's on the stage. And she tries to come over to confront her, like stop her. And then she just flips out and the old lady falls off the stage through a table. Dude. I fucking died laughing. Now.
It was like Bubba Ray Dudley threw her through.
I know. Now, I think mainly our generation, millennials, will probably laugh at that because I think back to the Sum 41 song, like, you don't know us at all, we laugh when old people fall. What do you expect from a conscience so small? I know I'm not
the one you thought you knew back in high school.
Right.
Would never show, would never go
without
you.
That's our generation. That shit is just funny.
Damn you for that. That's gonna be in my head now for the remainder of the evening.
You're welcome. But yeah, I enjoyed that. That made me laugh a lot. I did enjoy too the flashback to when we finally, because they're building up to that wreck of her and her boyfriend, what really fucked her up and where she's getting all anxiety from. And I'm telling you what, I loved the whole scene of it because you're driving drunk and coked up on a mountain snowy road.
It's like you're going to the Overlook Hotel.
I know, and dude's like swerving, and the camera's in a cool spot to where it's in the middle, so you're just like looking back and forth, and it's fucking intense. Like the car's speeding, like it doesn't look cheap either. Like you feel like you're in that car, and your anxiety's going. And everybody's been in an intense argument with a significant other in a car. Yep. So you could feel that too. But then the coolest part about it is she goes crazy bitch mode and takes the wheel and makes him swerve and go off of the road.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, but they go through the curb and they go down and they go off the fucking cliff, dude. And you see the whole thing until they hit the fucking ground. And it feels like done well to me that you feel like you're in one of those amusement parks, like the fucking rides where you're in your seat and it moves and the big screen, like you feel like you're in it. I got jitters. I was like, oh shit, like I felt like I was on a roller coaster or something.
That is cool,
like,
dude.
That was pretty fucking well done.
He was laying into her too. That was pretty funny. Just because it was Jack Nicholson's son, there was some like quotes in there that I thought were kind of resembled The Shining. What I have to say, too, is just as a film watcher, how cool are drone shots now, dude? Like, the upside-down shots, and I know some of those could be mirrored, but, like, the way that they flipped them, like, there was some cool imagery that I just was like, what the fuck, dude? It was kind of dystopian, but not too much. Not, like, A24 style. Just enough where it looked cool, where you're like, oh, that's kind of different.
Yeah, I feel like they shot it, and they, like, what does this look like upside down?
I know.
Or like he accidentally put it upside down when he was editing it. It's like, oh shit, that looks cool. Fucking keep that in there. Because that happens sometimes when you're editing. You do something on
happy accidents.
Yeah. Do something on accident. You're like, oh, that actually looks fucking cool. Keep that in there.
It looked so cool, dude. I thought the way that those shots looked were very cool. I thought that was funny when there was the naked man in her house that charged her. That was just funny, dude. That was just a hilarious sequence because, like, what are you going to... Like, first, that guy's getting shot. Like, you know, we're going to find out if it works or not because that guy's just not coming in your house. Like,
no.
We're not dealing with that. And she was too nervous to tell people, like, fully what was going on. I'm telling you, you have to have friends in your life that are like myself, or maybe even like Ozark Mark, where you've just seen so many horror movies that if somebody close to you comes up to you with that, like, you're at least going to see it through to be like, all right, You may be crazy and strung out on drugs or fucked up, but we're going to figure out if you're lying or not, bro, because you've got a good track record with me. And if you just come up to me like, dog, there is something following me, I got shit going on, like, I'm listening. But, like, just to keep it into yourself, like, I understand in the old school horror movies where it was, like, kids and, like, the parents sucked so they couldn't go to anybody but other kids. Makes sense. But when you're an adult, dog, there's somebody that will believe you. All right? There are people out here that believe in reptile people and shit. Like, so it's like, you can go to someone and lay it down. And that's what you need to do in these kind of situations. That's what I'm going to fucking do. If I'm coming to you first, like, bro, I know you're not going to believe me, but hear me out. There are fucking demons following me, and they're trying to smile. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. And you'd be like, what? Are you on drugs? No. All right, well, I don't know.
All right,
we'll figure it out.
I'll sit here till it happens again.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude,
like,
if I see it, that's all that needed to happen. But once you lose track of time, if we chilled down here for 2 hours, and you'd be like, what are you talking about? You just left. Like, no, dude, I've been here for 2 hours. Then I would know something's up. But another good thing this movie does is it doesn't tell you exactly what parts are real and what parts are imaginary.
yeah,
You know, because...
a little bit of like the Elm Street dream.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, there's a little ambiguity.
I mean, her friend that she lost contact with, she's the one that she chose to tell this about.
That was pretty funny.
And there's a whole... That girl, yeah. Like, the biggest Gen Z girl you've ever seen. Exactly who you would expect to be the best friend of a pop singer. But there's a whole segment where she comes into her apartment and they talk about everything or whatever. But then later in the movie, she calls her for the first time. So it's like, how much of these illusions were real and what was fictional? How much
While
time
her friend
did she
was
lose?
driving.
Right.
And that was pretty hilarious because she turns to her smiling and she's like, nobody likes you. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. Like, that's just like petty and funny as shit though. If somebody's having a bad day and you're just like, nobody likes you. You're like, I don't, fuck you, dude.
For some reason, I laughed hysterically when she finally gets control of that car again. It's towards the end where she's going to meet that guy at a abandoned Pizza Hut or something, and she finally got control of herself, and she's in the car, and she just pulls in the fucking parking lot, and just out of all the parking lot, there's just one dumpster there, and she hits it. Just smashes into it. Like,
Yeah.
bitch, hit the brakes. Like, this whole parking lot, you could have parked somewhere,
I know,
but
dude.
no, you hit the dumpster.
I'm telling you, dude, for a slept on for a movie that was not high on the list for 2024, it may finish in my top 3. This one was just entertaining as shit. I like that there's a new franchise. I've been saying for years, just give us something. Just give us something. We're not that picky. Will it be for everybody? Probably not. There are people out there that don't like 13 Ghosts, don't like Ghost Ship. But there's a lot of people that do. It doesn't need a whole lot of other shit. Just give us a random skeleton key. I would really, really appreciate that. If you're like, you know what? We're just gonna give you a dead silence. It's just a random little fun horror picture.
Yeah,
Like,
not everything needs a sequel.
no. And if you make one from it, cool, awesome. But it's just give us new franchises. Because even in like, we're so limited, or had been, like, you think of something like, ooh, the Terrifier franchise. Fuck, dude, that's almost 10 years old at this point. Like, which is cool. I love that. But let's give it its roses. But let's get another franchise in there. Let's get something fun. And if they come out with a third one, I'd see this. I'd see it for sure. And they left it open-ended where it seems like it'd be a crazy-ass third movie. I don't know what it would be, but it seems like it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with that. They kind of fucking cornered themselves there.
They did. They
might have hit a dead end with that.
But it could have been a dream. Could have been a...
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if anything comes about in the future.
We'll definitely check out and see what's happening. I like all that. Now, I will say, there are some unalivings going on in this movie, and there are some, some suicides.
Oh, what does unalivings? Okay, I got it. Yeah, some suicides. Go ahead, go.
They are fucking nuts.
You lost me a little bit on that, but yeah, go ahead.
this girl, the Sky Riley, she's trying to stay sober, but she did get in a really bad accident, and she does all this crazy choreography. They're putting her in harness and shit and whatever, and she's been stitched up and put all back together. So she does have pain, but she can't get Vicodin or anything from anybody. So she does go see her friend, who's like a drug addict, and he's got all these kind of drugs, for a couple Vicodin. It does seem as if it was innocent, as if not drug use of abuse. It did seem like it was like actual for use of what it was for. But she went over there, and dude, that's how she got this, because dude was in the grips of it, going through it. He's all paranoid. He pulls a fucking like katana on her when she comes in.
That's the exact weapon I imagine a drug dealer to have in that aspect. Like, he doesn't have a gun. He just got a sword.
Right. So that's hilarious. But this guy ends up fucking killing himself by taking a giant, like, a circle weight, like a 45 or 35-pound weight that you would put on, like, a bar, like a bench press bar, and just starts smashing himself in the face with it. And this was pretty early on in the movie. And, like, that's when because his face just starts tearing to pieces. And each time he hits it, they kind of do a zoom in on his face. And it's awesome makeup work. I'm sure there's a little CGI in there for sure, but it was awesome. Whatever it was, it looked cool as shit. Pieces of his face were falling off, and it was just...
My favorite part about that was the hits were actually intense.
Yeah.
They made a loud thump. It's like you felt it.
Yeah, dude. It was really cool. And it had a dash of, like, because we often talk about, like, the humor level in a horror movie versus, like, the brutality level, and it's like, if you use too much gore, it's funny. If you don't use enough gore, it's poetic. If you like, but also like that level of humor and horror, there's like a dash of humor in it when he's hitting himself in the face and he's all crazy. Like there's a dash of like, what the hell? But then there's like a larger part of like, oh my God, dude, that looks brutal. So I thought it was like it brings out the perfect kind of feeling in you where you're like, I really like watching this, but this is fucked up. This is crazy. Like, they nailed it on the head, but some really great makeup work there, and he looked pretty cool.
I like the realistic thought that they had a little bit later. So it was right after it happened. So she was all worried about being tied to being at a drug dealer's house because obviously he fucking killed himself and she was there.
Yeah.
You know, and she puked after it happened and ran out. Now you know goddamn well every single person that was in that situation would do the same thing, which is what she did. Google, can you find DNA and vomit? I would do that.
Yeah, but I got to do that like on a burner phone because they can do your Google searches.
Right.
You got to DuckDuckGo that motherfucker.
You got to go to your local library.
Yeah.
Those still exist.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. But it is kind of a fucked up concept where it's after you. There's not really a whole lot you can do, but I would try to alert everyone. I feel like there are people smarter than I, or maybe people that even more inclined with horror movies than myself that would know what to do. There's always a guy in the movie. I mean, I guess there's a guy in this movie too, but there's always like that, like, we've got to find old woman Teresa who lives on the mountain. She'll know what to do.
Yeah, that guy
You gotta kill a cat.
That guy really doesn't have a long role in the movie.
No.
You'd think it would be longer.
But you need that guy in a lot of horror movies. Like that's the person that like knows the answers, because like in Jeepers Creepers 2, dude pulls up in the truck like, I've dealt with this motherfucker. Like, like you need that guy. Like that's just like
There'll probably be a guy like that in the third one.
The priest in fucking Amityville Horror, like, you live in their house, like, oh my God. Somebody has to be the fucking, knows what's going on, but they've just wanted to avoid it because they don't want to be in that mess. And a lot of times that person gets killed in the movie. Like, that person can, it's like the two cops in the movie, and one dies. Just like that. But Smile, man. Lots of love for Smile. That's what we need to do. We need to have that become more of a thing. But the little girl that was smiling in the autograph line, that would be funnier because you'd be like, look, little kid, cut the shit. Cut the shit, little kid. Stop what you're doing. Little braces face. She looked like the little kid in Finding Nemo.
If I wasn't a pop... Dud. She did. She did.
Like, not in a mean way. Like, I mean, it's a cute kid. She's just, a little brace-faced teenage kid, middle schooler.
Oh, man. If I wasn't a pop star and I was in the situation, that kid's going to get knocked the fuck out.
Quit fucking with me, kid.
I know.
Get out of here.
Fucking kid. It's goddamn kids.
Dude, I just, it would be a hard situation for me to be in. I like clowns. I like smiling people.
I think it would be a hard situation for anybody in because it's one of those situations where you're helpless. Nothing you can do. Except find a strange man that can help you kill yourself and bring you back to life.
Mm-hmm. What if you went to a place in solitude?
It'd still kill you.
Yeah, I guess so. But it couldn't continue on. So would it?
Yeah, that's true. Put yourself in like a bunker and just die. But
a desert island.
But that's the other problem is you are still dead.
A desert island in the middle of nowhere. A desert island.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the only way you can beat it. It's by killing yourself and have somebody bring you back to life. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Got to give it to a really old person that's almost dead. And then you just...
No, because old people have people around them.
Yeah, but you just take that old person, you get what I'm saying?
No.
Just like, look, dude, you only got like a week left here. We'll say his name's Roger. All right, Roger, you got a week left. We're going to take you to this.
I think Gerald's a better name.
All right, Gerald. We're going to take you to this tropical paradise. All right, we're going to put all kinds of stuff on there. I'm going to find like battery generators. I'm going to find like awnings. I'm going to, stuff. We're going to hook him up. Some Netflix, maybe some drink, a little bit of smoke. But you're going to go here and die by yourself, even though you already only have a week to live. All right? And you just got to see it through, my boy. All right? It's going to be beautiful.
Not really. If he's infected, he ain't going to have a good time.
Well, he's not, but he's going to be there alone talking to them ghosts. Just like, fuck you, unless you can get one of these boats over here. There ain't shit you could do.
Yeah. It's a good plan.
Yeah. We'll find Gerald.
It's a good plan.
All right, Gerald, you gotta help us out here, man. I want to see certain people in horror movie situations, and like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys in this would be, fucking hilarious. He was fucking smiling at me. Quit fucking smiling at me. What's so fucking funny?
Yeah.
So, I feel like I would be one of those funny characters if this were to happen to me. I might die, but I just would not respond to it probably in the way that I should because everything would be really funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't. Yeah.
I'd be doing it back.
It's a good point. It's a good fucking point there.
It's a very nice point that I got there. And I think it's well-seasoned actors. A lot of money in this. Lots of good promotion they didn't put in there.
It's a lot of promotion. You got to damn near play all these choreographic dancers and all these fucking stages. Like, to simulate a pop star is probably not that inexpensive, I would say.
Nope. It's like if Demi Lovato got attacked by ghosts. That's what it's like.
Why is... so Naomi Scott, I believe her name is. She's one who plays Sky.
Okay.
First of all, smoke show. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations to her. But why are so many famous actors who do movies who do like American accents and shit aren't American? She's not.
It's easier to do apparently.
I guess
it's easier to do.
So an interview pop up on my TikTok. I guess it's because it was listening to me. But she does not. She's got like I don't remember what accent it is, but it ain't fucking American.
It's fucking bonkers, ain't it?
It's something like that. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I think it's like that. It's amazing to me. Everything's a lie.
It's fucking nanas.
Nothing is as it seems.
Yeah.
But why is that? How come no American actors are doing British films?
Because it's harder to do.
Probably not.
I mean, there's
probably because we butcher it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right then. I want to go see the game.
That's not enough. That's not even. It's fun. Do it.
They all blend into one.
It's all one. Yes.
You ever see the video of like an American and a British person like naming a household thing and the difference that we call them?
No, but that sounds funny.
Look one of them up. They call them something completely fucking different. It's insane. I forget what the name's on it. I'm not going to butcher it. I'll let you discover that on yourself when you're bored.
Yeah.
Some good entertainment for that ass. Good entertainment for that ass. And speaking of that ass, I need to shove some information up on you and come out your mouth so you can taste it here, because we need to go through the portal to the one and only Sloppy Horror Podcast rating.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the one and only world famous, one of a kind, world renowned special segment here called the one and only Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. This is a rating system developed by Christian Ramey, your very scary movie companion. This is a rating system based on a horror movie scale, not a movie in general. You know the rules by now. There's over 150 something episodes. I don't need to explain it to you. But in case you are new and everybody hates you and everybody's looking at you because you're new here, don't worry. You'll fit in eventually. That's usually how it always happens. We're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 of the categories are worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
That is correct. So let's get into the first category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
Well, oh well, oh well. It's one of those things where I always have to give roses to the people that give fine, high dollar actors for horror movies, because we're not always usually presented with that. Even though it's like Jack Nicholson's son and some of these people like aren't necessarily household names yet, they're all people that have done movies. They're young and up and coming actors. So I got to give it a 3, dude. Like everybody gave a pretty good performance. This is a interesting story to tell, so you need everybody to kind of be on their shit. The dude who played the guy that gives up the answers, like tells everything. Like everybody felt right and every person nailed it, the role that they were supposed to have. And I thought all of the smilers, like there's I don't want to say an ending sequence, but there's a sequence where, Riley, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
Sky Riley.
Sky Riley.
Same thing.
Yeah, when she's in her home, and there's a bunch of people smiling, and they were like, it was choreographed, or like in the door frame and stuff. That was really cool and impressive and funny. I would be like, you guys are good. Mm-hmm. This is when they were coming down the hallway. I would have been like, oh, like I would not have been able to handle that. You guys are good. But I have to give that a 3.
Okay, that's a tree. That's a tree. So that's 3 out of 10 so far here. Let's get into the second category in this bitch, and that is kills.
Dude, I feel like it's like a 2.5 almost, dude.
A 2.5, you say? Please explain.
There's a wide variety of kills, wouldn't you say? There's all different kind. Well, here's the thing, too. There's this level in horror movies where you have, or any movie, if you have a kill in a movie, you could watch somebody's head being cut off in a Rambo movie or a horror movie, and it's just those people feel disposable. But when there are medical incidents, you know the scene in The Exorcist where they do the needle, and like that's the hardest scene of the movie. And there's they pair a few scenes in this movie, like where there's like an IV in the arm, there's like a compound fracture out of the leg. There are a few that aren't just a horror person hurting a person, and it's like, fuck, dude. There's some things that make your body wince in this movie, and like I feel like that falls in the kill category too, where it's just like the body carnage, where it's like, and there are a decent amount of people that die in the movie, right? What's my number here? Is it low? Is it a low count?
2 mobsters.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from the first one in the beginning, so that's 3.
Mm-hmm. That mom, she gets butchered up.
Yeah, but that's fantasy, but that's still technically a kill on screen. And then Sky.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what about a 2? Does a 2 sound right?
I'd say 2.
Let's say 2 then.
I would say 2. For all the reasons you just say, but we're missing the top-notch kill that will make you remember it, and we're missing the quantity. How about that? How about that?
But yeah, it's a nice little ride, but not enough to bring it all the way home.
How about that? Technically speaking. So that is 5 here on the rating score. Let's get into the third final 3-point category in this and that is fear.
feel like you're gonna get a lot of new people. I feel like it's like kind of bordering on a 2, a little bit more than a 1.5, where you get half the people. I feel like this is a large variety of people. I'm giving the 1 to horror fans. If you're a horror fan, you're gonna probably be all right with this. Like, if you enjoy spooky stuff, you don't have to be a nerd like I am with all the shit behind me. But if you're like the person in your house that likes scary movies, you probably watch this pretty fine. But I will say, if you're afraid of scary movies, this one's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. And if I watched this with my wife and kids, they'd be like, oh, they would. I'm not that way, but I feel like just a large variety. If you sat down a household of people and played this movie, people will be on the edge of their seat and afraid. 2 out of 3.
Okay. So that is 7 out of 10 here in the rating system. Let's get into the final 1-point category for half a point each here. And that is rewatchability.
I'm going to watch this again with my family and try those results. So, yes.
It's a good idea.
Rewatchability for sure.
Yeah. It's pretty entertaining. It's filmed well. Obviously, higher budgeter movies are easier to rewatch to most people. I would say that because some people just don't like older movies.
A little bit longer. Like, it's 2 hours on the dot, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around that, but it's still a fun little ride, and I think you'll definitely want to show it to somebody who hasn't seen it. Mm-hmm. Or you got, like, your teenage kids are having a sleepover or something. They want to watch a scary movie. Throw this bitch on. Mm-hmm. You watch it with them. It's something that, everybody can enjoy. So I'll give it rewatchability, too. So that, my friends, is a total of 8 out of 10 here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast. Right back up in your ass. It's official like a referee with a whistle. This is an 8 out of 10 horror movie. So, that's the level of the movie that you need to go if you're in the mood for it.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the system.
Watch it. Yeah, seriously, guys, I'm pleasantly surprised with this little franchise. Curious to know how you guys feel. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube or wherever if we make this into a clip or whatever we do, you let us know what you think about this movie. I love the open conversation because I don't always go out and seek what critics say or what everybody's saying. I just try to watch it, see what I feel about it, and that's also the cool part about movies that don't have 900 trailers for a year coming out. I mean, this had a little bit of promotion, but it's not like you're like, everything. And then there's people that are like, I don't like how they've got the new person played by this and that. Like, you don't have any of those narratives. It's just a random little fucking movie. And they're great. They're a lot of fun. Can't recommend them enough. Technically, like Mark said, the second one starts with a little bit of the first one in the past. But like, if you haven't seen the first one, you'll be able to, 10, 15 minutes in, you know what's going on.
Yeah, I got the idea from it, and I haven't seen the first one.
Yeah, I
haven't seen the first one, but, I got the idea for it.
Mm-hmm. You're never going to trust anybody smiling again.
No, I don't trust anybody smiling now. Especially now I don't trust it even more after this movie.
I know.
So, but this was quite a pick. Christian Ramey, we're on fire here. There's a lot of great newer movies coming out, and we are tackling them, and we're getting you informed here on the new season or whatever it's called. I just came up with that off the top of my head. It's not too bad. Yeah. So, what is on the docket for the next movie so people have time to watch it before the next episode comes out so they can join the party and the conversation so they know what we're talking about?
This is a movie that I think there's a couple where I say, like, ooh, I feel like you might really like them. This movie I'm very interested for you to watch because one of the coolest kills I've ever seen in a horror movie, ever. You'll never forget it. It's just one of those where you're like, whoa, holy fuck.
I think I know what you're talking about because, go ahead and say it.
In a Violent Nature.
Yep. All right. Because I remember like hearing about this movie. Now I haven't seen it yet, but I remember it coming out, and then
if you like video games,
but I remember seeing reactions pop up on like my TikTok or whatever of people like reacting to this kill in it, but they won't show the kill. They'll just show them reacting, and everybody's like, "Ah." So I had to look up that kill. So I've seen that kill before. That's the only thing I've seen from the movie. But
good.
That's
Good.
yeah,
Well,
that's pretty intense kill there, but.
It's like a first-person slasher. You do feel like you're watching a little bit of a video game at moments. I mean, we're not going to reveal too much of the episode, but there's a lot of strengths to this movie. It was an interesting little flick, but I'm curious to see what you think about it, because you do like video games, and it's almost like if you put a GoPro on Jason or something like that, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm interested to actually watch this because it's an interesting concept. I don't think anything's been done like this before, so it's kind of testing new waters, and that's good. That's what we need. Now, do we need a bunch of movies that are like this coming out now? I hope not. I hope that, you know, that this is just stays in its own lane and it doesn't get flooded. Because that's what happens. When something groundbreaking comes out, everybody tries to copy it and shit. So I'm hoping that it's groundbreaking, but not to a level that it fucking influences everybody, like Drake and music or fucking whatever.
Remember that Hardcore Henry or whatever that movie was?
Yeah.
You get a little bit of those vibes.
Yeah, Hardcore Henry started to make me sick though.
Yeah, not
like,
as cinematic as that.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy and it would be sweet. It was sweet, but once you start watching that for a while, you're like, I'm starting to get woozy here because it's just too damn much.
Woozy here.
I'm nauseous, getting those vibes from it. But
Feeling like Philbit.
okay, so you learned about Smile 2. And now next week, here on the one and only Sloppy Horror Podcast, you are going to learn about In a Violent Nature. So make sure you go fucking watch that if you're currently listening, up to date on everything, so you can join the party and be ready for next week's episode.
Yep, it's a fun one.
As we entertain the orifices of your brain with hardcore podcasting entertainment.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
No, I think that's it. I hope you boys and girls are having a fun time enjoying your holiday season. Make sure that you guys are subscribed. You stay up on everything. It means more than you know. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Peace, bitches.
Goodbye.